Hey everybody, thanks for pressing play again. It's just a bit of a continuation of my thought process following on from the whole number 1 and 0 making 10 and how there wouldn't really be any numbers and there shouldn't be and everything else. But I know the irony of it all is that I'm still doing these videos about numbers and I can see the numbers ticking away on my camera as I'm filming this and stuff. But you know what I mean? I was kind of thinking back to not so much really about the God, but when God put Adam on the earth, or in the Garden of Eden, it was just Adam at first, but God felt sorry for him, so he decided he'd put a partner in there with Eve, so there was a woman. But they both, even though there was two people, there was nobody to count them, and God isn't counting them either in the description of how Eve was made. She was made from Adam's rib, so they're joined at the hip, that old phrase that people use when they see people really tight or close. They're joined at the hip, those two, like they're one entity, one person. And it's because they were at that point. You know, even though there was Adam and Eve, there wasn't anyone or awareness that there was two of them. There was one or two people. They just looked at each other. They weren't, they weren't self-aware until Eve was tempted and ate the apple from the tree of life, and it was the truth. It gave her that knowledge, the tree of knowledge. Suddenly, as soon as she's ate that apple, she's not only aware that she's eating an apple, but she's aware of the taste of that apple. She is aware of the colour of the apple. But Adam isn't there eating that apple and aware of that taste, or that Eve is only aware of all of that. And it's at that very moment there becomes two from one via Satan and the temptation. And ever since that point, there has always been that individual consciousness. I think there are tribes that have kind of other singular consciousnesses and across the world. I've not done research on any of that, but it just got me thinking about how one became two. God made two people, but there was no counting of two. It was just companionship, Adam and Eve. But as soon as Eve ate the apple, there was then the numbers. It was the numbers. There was two of them. And then everything from the Bible then was all numbers. Everything, there's so many numbers, and there's a reason for the numbers. Because it's almost then it has to be numbers for us that are ruled by them to find the clues from the numbers and what it actually is and what it means. And it all leads you back to the fact that there should only ever have been one, and there will only be ever one as well in the future, which is all one consciousness for God. And it's a lovely, it's not anything to be afraid of. But we've just gone through life with being tricked into thinking we all have to be individual. Everything's about self, when it should be the opposite. Service to others, because then you don't have to worry about yourself, because if that's the law, service to others, always, that whoever you're going to meet or come across, they're going to be serving you, because you're serving them and vice versa. There's no self, but that's why the world is so hard and difficult. And my prayers are going out to everyone at this point in the world, good and bad. But yeah, that was just a bit of thoughts on Genesis and how it all started, really, because the Bible starts there. I know it tells you about how long it took to build things, but again, it's because it's being described to someone that is going to have to base it on something. We can only comprehend stuff via numbers. And that's the same for everyone going back in history, every single person. Everyone has different ways of writing numbers. It's just different shapes, patterns of how something's put down on a bit of paper or however, on a stone. But it's still counting. Everything's about having more than one. But yeah, I was going to go into like the equation bit, but I think I'll just kind of leave that there actually and make it just a 5-minute short thought process video. I hope everybody's well. Take care.